Greetings, everyone. This is the Thinking This Fall 2020 recap. Looking back on the messages for October and November, it's clear that the collective was being given inspiration and thought patterns regarding abundance. The tarot readings took us through the cycle of giving and receiving. Generosity brings me joy. Your good works will be attributed to you. These are life-changing times. Be grateful that you have the means to help others. If you are on the receiving end in this cycle, remember the graciousness with which you would like your help to be received. The divine masculine and divine feminine are in perfect alignment for victory. Delve into these archetypes and see them as a part of you that is putting its best self into your mission. The magician controls the gaze and directs attention and focus for the creation. The high priestess controls the unseen and attracts what the focus and attention has been vibrating into the creation. Only love prevails. Emotional discipline, emotional clarity, and emotional courage are being highlighted. Trusting in our willingness and ability to embody all three is crucial for success. Be the example. Your time to sit back and enjoy the view is upon you if you have been diligent. If you haven't been able to get practical about what is important, now is the time for self-analysis. Is there something from the past that needs your attention? Deal with your own bundle. Your path with money is fed. I went live on November 22nd, 2020, and shared guidance for the first quarter moon and the full moon in Gemini. Remember that it doesn't matter when you actually get these messages. If they resonate, it's the perfect time for you.
Right now, the moon is in Pisces, and it's in the first quarter phase, which is like that half moon. And it's going to be in Pisces until Tuesday, November 24th. And moon in Pisces obviously is going to be associated with water, but so is the first quarter moon. It is also associated with water. So we have like this heavy water element on board, and so that's going to improve our divinatory and musical abilities. There's going to be a lot of dreams in these next until the Monday, Tuesday, and then it's going to go into Aries, but I'm not going to talk about that. The actions taken in these next few days, though, are going to be amplified. Then, on November 30th, we have the Beaver moon, or the frost moon. And where did it get? And that means it's going to be a full moon, and there's also going to be an eclipse. But anyway, the beavers build dams this time of year. And also that is when native tribes and European trappers would lay their traps for the beavers. And that's why it's called the Beaver Moon. Okay, so there's also going to be a lunar eclipse with that full moon, which means it's going to be an amplified full moon. Potent forces are coming down, And it's going to be very easy to attune with ascended masters, the archangels, your spirit guides, very high level stuff. And charging your crystals and talismans during that moon would also be very powerful. Now, one thing that I was thinking about, what does it mean for the full moon to be in Gemini? It means that the sun is in Sagittarius. And I found out that that's called the Gemini Sagittarius Polarity. And basically, what does this mean? One, the Gemini is mutable air, and the Sagittarius is mutable fire. So they're both mutable, which means they have about the same level of influence on each other. Gemini is about details and facts and gathering information and the intellect. And Sagittarius is big picture, belief-based, and putting everything into context and passion. And so you can see how there could be clashes between these two energies because they both have a different way of looking at the world. But this moon, because of that lunar eclipse situation, is the time to really integrate and resolve the polarities and really see the wholeness of it all. And it makes me think of dropped my ring, dropped it. Okay, well, we'll get it later. The first quarter moon, you think, oh, it's a half moon, but the whole moon is still there. We're just seeing the two parts of it, the part that's illuminated and the part that isn't. And it's that same idea, is things may appear to be dualistic, but we need to make peace in the wholeness and recognizing the underlying unity. And I want to ask, what is the recommended crystal ally or crystal energy for these potent time periods that we're going to be experiencing? And I'm using the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle by Judy Hall. And let's see, what is the recommended crystal ally? Came out already. It's the citrine or the citrine. I like to say citrine, but it might be citrine, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a great one for this solar plexus chakra. And manifesting happens in the solar plexus chakra. I don't know if those of you if you guys played Street Fighter, but if you remember what Ryu and Ken used to do, is they used to be like, Haryuken, and then you could get this fireball coming out of this area. And that is how you can imagine manifesting happens. You have the thought comes through here, and then you push it forward through the solar plexus. Obviously, all the other chakras need to be in balance for that, etc. But citrine will really help get this energy active. If you have difficulty with motivation, if you want inspiration for money, citrine. And it actually makes sense because both Gemini and Sagittarius are very, thinking type of signs and not always doing, although Sag does takes more action than Gemini does. But it makes sense that a crystal that helps one put our energy into action is coming forward because these moons to me seem very, esoteric and not physical. So something that'll help us ground a little and bring it down to the lower chakras where we could take care of business. So what advice are we being given for that time period? And it's recognizing that there's underlying unity in these things that look like they oppose each other. Just like with that moon, that first quarter moon, like half of it is light and half of it is dark, but it's still the moon. It's just what we are able to perceive based on the perspective we have. And so it's the same thing. What perspective are we having that will allow us to recognize the underlying unity? What is our task for that time? Bringing restless minds under control and bringing animal passions under control. How do we do that? With spiritual discipline. Which spiritual disciplines are being recommended? Well, because of the Gemini influence, we have journaling, because Gemini is linked with writing. So journaling would be very helpful. Exercise, physical activity for that, all that fire. Remember, Sagittarius is fire, and meditation. These things are going to be key because there's the energy's coming in. Now we have to integrate this energy, and how best to do that? By moving it through the body through exercise, processing it mentally with journaling, and then spiritually understanding it with meditation. That is the highest advice to get us through till November 30th. With that said, I think I gave you a whole bunch of advice on that. Should I pull a card for that? Well, wait. Moon is big. Like, I wanted to concentrate more on, the time leading up to it, but the focus keeps coming back to the November 30th date, kind of like gearing us up for that. So there's the beaver. And the beaver is earth element, even though he lives with water. Kelly, do some chair dancing with music. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're really not feeling it. Okay, so beaver. What? I just want to read right out of the guidebook. What does it tell us about the beaver? Oh, actually, no. It is earth. I mean, it is water. Oh, you're in pain. I'm sorry. Okay. So the beaver, hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcomed sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for the family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home, financial stability. If you were wondering what we should be manifesting, think of that. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, which means selfless service. So when the beaver energy is in balance, there is happy, meaningful work. When it is out of balance, it feels useless and worn out. To bring it back into balance, physical physical labor and selfless service. So that is the advice. Again, they're back at the physical labor, they're back at the spiritual discipline as the advice for the full moon. Okay, so that's it. This freaking went by super quick.
Be sure to join my mailing list so that you can be notified the next time I go live and receive the exclusive content I share, enabling you to create yourself in the highest way.